Hello, my name is Andy Sullivan. I'm the founder of the 9/11 Hard Hat Pledge. It was a pledge that I started to petition against the building of the Ground Zero Mosque. I started over a year ago, have over 100,000 pledges right now worldwide, and it was something I'm very, very deeply proud of. Now, I've been fighting this mosque the whole entire time. I've traveled around the country. I actually participated in a movie called Sacrifice Survivors. And I was approached by the Christian Action Network because they wanted me to go on tour with several other people who were in the movie. And I said, fine, that sounds like a great idea. They agreed to pay my expenses. And then I said, listen, if I'm taking off from work, I'm going to need to be compensated from work. Well, that ended up not happening. So that relationship in itself got off to a very bad start. Recently, I was flown out to Southern California to help with the mosque out in Temecula. Now, it was done by a woman who asked if she could be part of the movement quite a while ago, maybe 7 or 8 months ago. And she created a boycott site. And as a matter of fact, I got in a bit of trouble because one of the things she boycotted was Justin Bieber. Now, when the press found out that we were boycotting Justin Bieber, all hell broke loose. And she called me in a panic. And I started to get nervous too because I had all the news affiliates calling me out on it. It was on CNN, it was on Fox, it was on New York One. I was actually getting a little nervous. At that point, she called me. And I could tell she was scared and nervous. And I actually felt really bad. And she asked me, she said, Andy, please don't use my name. And I said, honey, it's okay. I'm not going to use your name. I'll take the hit. And that's exactly what I did. Okay? I went out, I apologized to everybody, and I took the hit. Why? Because I don't want to see anybody hurt. Especially if it had something to do with what I created. Even if it wasn't my fault. Okay, that's the type of guy I am. Now, here I am in Southern California. She organized this big, huge, 5-stop Sacrifice Survivors trip. Now, Christian Action Network was flying everybody out, and I was supposed to get compensated. I was supposed to get compensated in Florida. I didn't. I was supposed to get compensated in Dearborn, Michigan. I did not. And now here we are in California with promises once again unfulfilled. But I get there, and immediately I find out in Times Square, Imam Raouf is having a protest there. And I know I have to be at Times Square. Now, I committed to 3 of the dates on the tour. And I said I would fulfill them. But I begged them. I said, please, you got to make sure you fly me back for the rally. I can't miss a rally in Times Square. I can't have Imam Raouf in my backyard and me not there to fight him. So it was an argument over money. Once again. Once again, I lost the argument. And I was angry. And I said, you know what? You're here. Just do the thing. Give it your all. And just write it up as lesson learned. That's what I did. I went to the meet and greet that they had. And shook hands. Said hello. Was pleasant. Trying to be very cordial to everybody. Everybody was so sweet and wonderful. I had a very nice time. Then I went back to the hotel. We got ready. I got out there. I was handed an itinerary that had already been changed several times before. And I saw it was once again changed. And I said, fine, not a problem. And the speeches started. Now, everything was backwards, but I didn't complain. So, first speaker went on for about 10-15 minutes. Then I was supposed to go on. But instead of me, somebody else went on. Okay? Now, this gentleman got up He wasn't a public speaker, never spoke before, and he was showing some very, very graphic stuff. We were at a sit-down Republican dinner, and we were looking at people being decapitated and amputees, and afterwards he was giving us a lesson on Islam and the Quran, and then told us he's been doing it for a long time, almost a year now. When I heard that, I was stunned. I thought this guy was an expert. There were people in that room that had 20 and 30 years of Islamic studies. It was kind of insulting, I thought. And then they proceeded this slideshow, this very parochial slideshow that went on and on and on and on. And I actually started to feel sorry for him. I mean, I seen him up there sweating. He was fumbling with his words. And I wanted to jump up and just get up there and kind of help him and then get the crowd going again. But it just kept on going. It got so long and so bad and in bad taste that the leader of the Republican Party came over and had to physically tell him, "Get down." He actually went up to the woman and said, "You got to get him down. He's gone on way too long." And she wouldn't do it. So the guy said, "Do you want me to do it?" And she said, "Yeah." So he had to get up there, and he went to go up on the stage, but his back was to him, and he wasn't getting his attention. So he had to go around, get right in his face, and tell him to stop. Now, I said, you know what? Fine. Guy's first thing out, you know, maybe he didn't know exactly what was going on. He actually came back to the table after speaking for almost 50 minutes and said, "Was I that long?" The last speaker was 10 minutes at the most. So I said, no worries. I'll get the crowd going again. We'll end on a high note and then we'll hit the movie. So I'm waiting to get introduced, and she calls up another speaker who just spoke. And I'm saying to myself, well, what's going on? Oh, he's going to introduce me. And sure enough, she yells to him, "Start the film." Start the film. I thought I was going to speak. That's why I came 3,000 miles. That's why I had friends of mine drive 500 miles to this place. And I get bumped. So I was pretty angry. I got up and I left. You know, I was disappointed and abandoned. The guy from Christian Action Network, he stood there and let all this happen. Why did they bring me out there to humiliate me? I got better things to do with my time. I got 2 young kids. I got this movement, and I got my own job. And financially, every day is a struggle. I don't have time for this nonsense. So, the next day, radio station that I do, a weekly radio station, they call me and they want to know what happened. And I tell them what happened. And we have a little fun. You know, I don't like to be all serious about everything. I'm not, you know, I like to joke and laugh. So we did some tongue-in-cheek stuff. And I made it funny and entertaining. That's what you're supposed to do when you're in the public. All right? And then I get a very nice Facebook from this man, Jared Winter. He says, "You have been warned. I will say this once. If you drag me into your psychosis one more time or as much as mention my name, you will be finished. Your fall will be historic, and I will personally ensure that there will be no recovery angle for you. You have no idea who you are dealing, and I can guarantee you do not want to find out. You even allude to my likeness ever again to anyone, and within 1 month, you will be out of the scene with no chance of coming back. In short, you better quit opening your mouth or it will cost you your narcissist dream in total." Talk about narcissist. Take your meds before you react and think carefully about this message. You don't understand, and it will cost you everything if I have to teach you a lesson. My young friend, you ain't teaching me no lesson. Okay, after this, I said, okay, you're going to make threats at me now. I just got completely ambushed, embarrassed, humiliated, and now I'm getting threats. And not only that, the same day I get this, I get a text from the Christian Action Network that they fire me. Okay, that's kind of not too Christian if you ask me. Alright, I tried to call this man several times. He wouldn't pick up the phone. He picked up the phone today though to call me and to record the conversation or relay all the way the conversation went. He made sure to do that. He was looking to cover his own ass. But now I explain what happened. They start talking about videos. They got videos of me saying that, videos of me saying this. Basically, and I didn't think it was an issue because no one ever brought it up before, my credibility. But you know what? You brought it up, and here it is. I didn't tell the Tower 1 story in the beginning. I was asked not to. Okay, the guy that we got out of there was very, very worried about this whole entire movement. It was only after he saw the film, and I sat there with his family as they were hysterical crying, that he came up to me and he said, "Mr. Andy, please tell the Tower 1 story." And it wasn't until that moment that I started to tell the Tower 1 story. You use all the interviews and tapes and emails and texts. I don't care. Don't you dare question my credibility. I can be put everywhere I said I was. First by my payroll check and by witnesses. So if you want to come after my credibility, you better have something better than a tape or an email or a text. I know you people who live on Facebook, you think that's your whole life. And you keyboard warriors, you think you could do all kinds of damage. Listen, you give me nothing but PR. This is great. The Christian Action Network fires Andy Sullivan. The inspiration for the whole 9/11 Sacrifice Survivors Tour. You're feeding the flame. Keep it up. I hope you never stop. But I'm telling you right now, this thing ends now. Okay? We have the feds involved. Now, I hope this thing dies. Right here and right now. Because if it goes on any longer, it's just going to be bad. It's bad for the movement. It's bad for everyone involved. Except me. It'll give me more PR. But if you want to keep it up, be my guest. Blue Collar Corner, signing off.